the House of Commons on the 24th of January that the government was aiming for, and I quote, a comprehensive free trade agreement and a comprehensive customs agreement that will deliver the exact same benefits as we have.
No.
The no deal WTO option doesn't do that.
No, of course, I was expressing an ambition. I have to say this to you, because one or two members of your party were sort of jumping and said, oh, how can you say that? I make no apologies for being ambitious in this. We're talking about the future of the country here. I'm aiming as high as I possibly can. That's what this is about. It's not about me trying to preserve a position of saying, oh, we aim low and then it'll look like I've succeeded when we haven't. We're aiming high. We're aiming to get the best possible deal for the country. And I make no apology for that at all.
The focus of my question is your statement, no deal is better than a bad deal. So John Major, your former boss, former Conservative Prime Minister, said in his speech the other week that the WTO option is, and I quote him, the worst possible outcome. He's right, isn't he?
No. All you have to do is to read the rhetoric in the immediate aftermath of the referendum campaign and the result to see that people were intending, or some people were arguing for a punishment approach to the British people. There are ways of making this much worse than that. We're not going to do that. We're not going to allow that. So the alternative option is by no means the worst possible outcome. By no means.
Sir Ivan Rogers, when he was sitting in that chair a couple of weeks ago, told us that no major economy trades with the EU purely on the basis of WTO terms. He's right too, isn't he?
No major economy does.
But you have said
what do the major economies trade with them on?
WTO terms.
Oh, purely, I see. Well, there are always relationships between major economies. So that's even in a non-outcome, I would expect some arrangements to be made.
Can I finally ask you about the parliamentary process on this? Is it the government's policy to give Parliament a vote on defaulting to these WTO terms if there is no agreement on a free trade agreement?
Well, I've said, I think, you actually in the chamber, so you heard what I said.
You wouldn't take my intervention, so I couldn't ask you.
I took quite a lot of interventions. I didn't see yours. There was no shortage of interventions taken. There never is when I speak in the dispatch box, as I think you would recognise if you're being fair about it. The simple fact is that we will bring back any negotiated deal to the UK Parliament, both houses thereof. And as I said in the House, and it's not my job to give tutorials in this matter, as I said in the House, it is Parliament has always got the power to have a vote, a debate and a vote on any subject it chooses to. And I can think of a number of methods of doing it, but I'll leave that to your...
But my question is your policy. Is it the government's policy to give itself the option, defaulting to WTO terms with no deal, without giving Parliament a vote? Is that your policy?
The policy is as stated, that if we have, look, we were talking about tiny probabilities here. When we get our deal, we'll bring that back to the House of Commons, full stop.
And if there's no deal, what's the House of Commons do?
Then we'll no doubt make a statement to the House of Commons, and it's up to the House what it chooses to do.
Okay, thank you very much.